Hey everyone, here we are for Woolfer Wins. Uh, Today I'm here with Lori Werhane, and it's a topic I'm really interested in because I need the input. It's about cleaning. And I always go like, I'm not born with that gene. No one is. It's try and error. And Lori has tried a lot of things lately, and so we're all gonna kind of piggy bank on her expertise. And if you could introduce yourself a little bit and where you're at and how you learned about all this stuff.
Okay, so I'm Lori Werhane. I live in Littleton, Colorado, and I am a parent of three children, a husband, and oftentimes three dogs and other pets. So I live in a messy place most of the time. I'm also a graphic designer and a photographer, so I'm creative. So I like to approach things creatively. So is your question how I got started on all of
Yeah,
this?
I mean, obviously, it's one of these things, people go like cleaning seems almost like a shameful topic. No one asks you about it. You're afraid to ask your friends because you're like, wow, this person is so clean. And then you come home and you're like, at least me, I'm like, maybe not so great. And it's kind of like, especially amongst women, it seems like we put a lot of shame on that, but we all don't know how it works until somebody tells us or we learn it or we make mistakes. So I figured what we can do here is to prevent other people from doing things which are going to be disastrous and instead just go right to the good stuff where it works.
Absolutely.
So, and obviously you went through a trial and error and you figured out a bunch of stuff which worked really great for you.
So this is who I am. I'm someone who, one, doesn't like to shop and likes to do things without wasting a lot of plastic or ruining the environment. So it really started when I started cleaning bathrooms and using an entire bottle of scrubbing bubbles or some product and then throwing the plastic away and then having to go buy another one. And then I started thinking, I wonder if I can do this myself. I wonder if I can go out and find the ingredients and make it myself, and it'll be better and easier and cheaper. And so that's where it started. Then it took me on an internet search, and I found different websites in different places. And I discovered the holy grail of cleaning is white vinegar. So you can buy a jug of white vinegar for under $2. It might be more where you live, but in Denver, it's,
I don't know.
under $2, a giant
Yeah.
jug of vinegar. The other key is Dawn dish soap, because it has to have a little bit of degreasing properties.
Mm-hmm.
Those two items will clean your whole house. And then if you have bleach for bathroom
I do have
surfaces,
bleach.
bleach for bathroom surfaces. So I started creating my own concoctions that I'd spray on my shower doors and see if it would work. At first I used too much vinegar. My poor husband said, could you please stop with all the vinegar? I'm suffocating in the bathroom. So I would add some lavender drops, and then I discovered tea tree oil, which is actually a antiviral, antibacterial. So if you add that to your concoction, you're getting the benefit of that. That's kind of stinky too. But so I wrote down a couple of my concoctions, and one of them, which is a great thing for shower doors where you get soap scum. You do equal parts of Dawn dish soap and vinegar. You can add a little water if it feels strong. And then I just read this morning that you're actually supposed to warm it up a little bit. And I think that helps the Dawn and the vinegar mix
That
together.
might be too involved for me because I'm literally
no microwaving.
standing in the shower and spraying on it afterwards, so it's like
you have to put it all together. You got to put it all in together into a spray bottle. Yeah. And then even better, I read that you can spray it like the night before, like give your shower a good, maybe let it run for 5 minutes and get steamy, and then spray the whole thing with that concoction and let it sit overnight. And then in the morning, rinse the heck out of it with hot water and squeegee it. Done. I promise you.
Yeah, I know. I did a little trial and error before, and it actually works. I was really fascinated because I have to say I'm a fascia blaster, so I spread oil while I'm in the shower, so that greasy oil is everywhere, and it's slippery and it sticks. And I'm not a great cleaner, and your little mixture works wonders.
Yay,
I have to
see?
say. Yeah.
And I have he's now a 24-year-old son who has his own bathroom, and we don't always get in there to clean it. And he doesn't always get in there to clean it. And as we were preparing to sell our house, I did, make my way into his bathroom and realized that his clear shower doors were no longer clear. So I did get in there. I did have to bring the added power of a magic eraser, but I did get it all off. So
is that the magic power?
I didn't use Krud Kutter for that. I used
Can you use that on the glass, or you wouldn't use that on the glass? Because I have concrete floors, and there is just like, I mean, I know it's shameful, I clean all the time, but it is just like somehow, the stuff gets into the concrete because it's not sealed, and there is just almost nothing I can do. And
you can use Krud Kutter. So should we talk about Krud Kutter? The vinegar concoction you can use for glass shower doors for sure.
Yeah. So I will.
And tile and grout.
I'm sold on that because it just worked. And I have that anyway because I cook. So I have clear vinegar and I have dish soap. So, I mean,
so it's easy. You don't run out of it. You have like a gallon of each, and you just, even better, you would go on Amazon and buy a glass spray bottle so that you don't have plastic. And
no glass for me. Concrete floors, if it drops, it's
okay, plastic.
So I have everything plastic, but I reuse it.
A really good squeegee.
Yeah. I do have that because I also have glass garage doors, and birds will poop on that, and then I have to spray it from the front. Doors? Yeah, I live in
Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And the one thing as I said, I have lots of qualities. Housewifey is not one of them. And as I said, most people don't have that quality until you have to. And then you're like, how am I going to do this? So I use this on, I have to say, so I also, for someone who doesn't like to clean, I have like bad choices in what I put into my house. Like, why did I do that? And it's like, sort of like, oh, you have 5 small kids and 15 pets. Why do you have a white sofa? That kind of person. So I have white chairs, which I don't clean. And you can see here, I have this like, obviously people sit on it, and it's right here, and they have like put their shoes against it and whatever it is. And I hate cleaning that because normally you have to go and scrap that. And I'm like, it doesn't look good, but I'm not going to spend my time doing that. And I put this stuff on it and just went over it once, and it was gone. And so I was like, I love Lori. I'm like, this is like the best thing ever. So
you could spray it on there and leave it on for a couple of minutes, and it would probably take the rest of it off.
Yeah.
And the thing with Krud Kutter, always follow it with water, because it'll leave a little bit of a residue, and you want to get that off.
Okay.
So that's important to do that. I can tell you what I used Krud Kutter for, with the hallelujah, sing to the sky moment for me on Krud Kutter, was getting my house ready for market and realizing just how dirty my white doors were all over my house. I think there were handprints from each individual in the house. It was like a crime scene. And,
I have white doors too.
You spray it and you watch it just drip down, and you just watch like the history of your family's dirt drip down the door, and then you grab it with a white cloth and you it's very rewarding. And baseboards, cleaning out your
used to do Windex, and it's just really scrubbing, and it's still sticky, and I'm just like, but I want white doors, but I don't want to clean them. So that's
and then you got to follow it with water, because Krud Kutter is not something that I would use every week or every day, but I would use it like quarterly or twice a year, because it will break paint down at some point.
You assume that I clean my doors every week. That is a wrong assumption.
You should not clean, your doors should not get dirty that they need to be cleaned every
so
week.
I'm just
unless
like,
you live with,
they wouldn't be.
Unless you live with barbarians who
I mean, it's just like, if you live in white, it's white. So even if you're careful, which I'm not.
I've always said, I think my children dip their hands in mayonnaise and then walk around the house and touch, stainless steel refrigerators and doors and windows and backsliding glass doors. There's always like a big handprint. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the privilege of the people who don't have to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't assume, I don't know, they just think there's a magic fairy which comes in overnight and just takes all the traces away, which I have discovered there is no such fairy. That fairy is me. So,
or you have dirt blinders and you just don't see it.
yeah. So I also like, oh, I had the question because a friend of mine asked me that after I posted that we were doing that. She's like, would you use like the Krud Kutter and something like your oven trays or roasts or something? No, I think that's something different.
No, but I have a hack for oven trays and I'm about to try it out because we're moving, so I need to clean them. And I just read this. So what you are supposed to do is, so you don't ever run your oven cleaner with the trays in there, that wrecks them. So you take them out, clean your oven on its oven cleaning. Then you take your oven trays and you wrap them in tin foil. Completely wrap them in tin foil, which I had to look it up twice because I didn't believe it. It's like wizardry. So they're wrapped up in foil. You put them in a bathtub of warm or hot water. And then you take those dishwashing pods that you put in your dishwasher, and you put one on top of the tray in the tub. And you let it sit in the water with the pod overnight. And supposedly there's some magic that happens.
I totally believe that because I used to use the dishwashing soap when it still came like loose to clean my sink because it works on that too. So that was one of my few hacks I had.
Super concentrated, so it's supposed to do that, but I'm getting ready to try it. I'm not sure. I don't want it to wreck my bathtub, so I'm hesitant, but I feel like I feel like it's worth before and after pictures. It's supposed to work, and then you take the foil off and they're like brand new.
I'm going to wait on your report because I also have a white plastic bathtub and I don't want to wreck it either. I'm like, I actually leave my trays in when I run my self-clean for the oven, but
then they get chalky and sticky and they lose that luster.
Yeah, but it's still better than me cleaning them. So, so there's always some minor losses in everything, so
I think you can use the pods to clean like trays, like cookie sheets. You could do the same thing if you had a big enough sink, but they have to be submerged.
Yeah. So I actually used the Barkeepers Friend on one of my cookies. Really, I mean, I'm happy to out my level of dirt. So that's how my baking sheets look.
That is cool. So that's before?
And that's before and that's after. And I didn't do anything. I just put warm water in it and put that Barkeepers Friend on there because I mean, of course I have heard of it, but I've never bothered to buy it. And so
I hadn't heard of it till this year. It's just like a really soft cleanser. And the place that I used it, you asked me if I had any aha moments.
Yeah.
I have a completely chrome, old school looking toaster that was sitting on my counter looking all beat up. And I sat and it took a little elbow grease, but I buy like a Costco size container of just cotton cloths.
Yeah.
So I don't want to use paper towels. And you just put the Barkeeper's Friend on it and you just like work your way around, and it made my old 20-year-old toaster look brand new. It's just a cream, and you can use it on fixtures. You can use it for soap scum as well, I've read, and you can use it on a stainless steel refrigerator.
I bought the powder, so obviously my description was
just add water to that. I have the cream.
This is like just powder. It's like old school kind of like. And then, of course, I put it off, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to close it." And here's
a piece of duct tape over the top.
So I think I would recommend to use the cream after I try to use the powder, but the powder works good too. So, but I had to kind of like put a lot of water over it afterwards because there were powder residue everywhere. So, I mean, it's probably a little bit more work intensive, but I mean,
and it works.
I think it was like
glass cooktops. If you use it on a glass cooktop and just work it in and work it in. You'll pull your towel up and it'll be black. I mean, it'll just pick up everything. But it does, that one does take that one, you'll work your muscles a little bit. Just gotta work it in.
Well, I mean, depends on how long you haven't done it before, I would say.
Or how messy your cooks are. Your cooks have mayonnaise on their hands who are
well, you know what? Like a friend of mine said, like, when we used to panic clean before guests came over, we all haven't done that for a while. So, there's plenty of opportunity to get in shape before you might have someone over again. And, before we go, I have a question. You had like the white cloth up there. Do you have any other recommendations what we should have on hand so that we are like as tools, and say like, okay, so if you get started and start a new, better cleaning regimen or routine, the squeegee,
You definitely need a squeegee. And then there's a website, or they're a website, they're an Instagram called Go Clean Company. So it's Go Clean CO. And they have oodles of tips and tricks that are around all this stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they recommend products. So one product that they recommended, which I went out and bought, was the O-Cedar Spin Mop. And so it's a bucket, and then it's got a cotton mop on top of it. And then you put it in there, and the best way, they say, use really hot water, a teaspoon of powder Tide, and then put your mop in it, and then it's got a spin in it so it dries your mop. So the drier your mop, the better. And then you can use that to clean your floors. And it really picks up the dirt, because the water will be black. And they definitely stress, like, change your water out. Like, don't mop your floor with dirty water. Like, start over. It takes time, but eventually you'll only need to empty the water once.
Yeah, otherwise you just redistribute your dirt evenly.
Yes.
You know, then you have even coloring on your floor, but maybe not clean.
They actually say that it's better than using like Murphy's oil soap or some of the wood floor cleaning products, because it doesn't leave a coating, it just cleans. So that's good. So I would do powder Tide. I would do the O-Cedar Spin Mop. I would invest in a good squeegee, and they recommend one on that website, and I don't have that in front of me, but there's like a $70 squeegee that's supposed to be great for shower doors and windows and all kinds of things. And that'll be next on my list to purchase. Invest in some good cotton lint-free cleaning cloths. These are the best. So they dry everything, they clean everything. White vinegar. What else?
Yeah, and the Dawn dish soap. And I think
Dawn dish soap.
I think we have to have like a second episode where we have everybody try all of this, and then they have to call in and tell us before and after stories.
We need before and after pictures. We need your crime scenes.
Yes.
Your before and after crime scenes.
We need to see that. I'm gonna go and get onto it, and I think I'm good. This is about amount of cleaning I can stomach for next couple of weeks. And I'm gonna go and check back in with you, and we're gonna take it to like level 2.0, you know, because I really need to start at the beginner section.
Great. I think whatever we can do to make it fun, you know, if we can clean with, you know, some Krud Kutter and maybe a Bloody Mary, and then we'll be good to go.
Or I'm going to try it out, and then I'm going to train someone else in my household to perform that function once I understand how it works. I think that's my plan.
It's important to delegate. I like it.
So thank you so much, Lori.
You're welcome. It was fun.
I will follow up with you on other topics.
Excellent.
Thank you.